for several weeks or so after these periods, and then we would make a declaration about what it is until it really formulated. But there's several things going on. Number one, they immobilized the cars. Okay, they immobilized the cars, and I think that you will be more isolated. It's not that. It's not that. When we want to get around, we can go on the bus, we can go anywhere, and it'll give them more trouble. But what's happened recently is you ever pop up Indian news, all these news from all around the world? Okay, and then all those lectures. Right now, I would wait for several months or different periods to make a declaration. If you notice on Ukraine, I was making a declaration within 2 days. One, because of what it is, and all the this is before all the news come out about black people being held up and da 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 da. No, it was clear what had happened. The U.S. set up the Russians to make a move, and the Russians had been saving gold for long. I don't know if you noticed.
I remember when you talked about that years ago.
Yeah, but they got a move they're gonna make. So they got a move they got to make. China's been saving gold too. In other words, everybody got since been saving gold in case whatever get funny. I don't care whether it's Bitcoin, that coin, it don't make no difference. You can always depend on gold, because if the gold market goes crazy, then the whole financial structure in the world will collide with each other. But anyway, so we started making prognostications right away. Why? Because by the time the black press started coming out and giving ideas about what they thought about this and that and another, we had already declared what it was, that they didn't set up Russia. They didn't force Russia. Now, everybody else in Europe have one picture of Nazis, but the Soviet Union, we say it all the time, if they lost 27 million people, and other people lose 100,000 or 5,000, or some old dumb numbers that don't, but so they got it fixed in their mind. So the U.S. had asked NATO, okay, back in the 90s and all that period, okay, so y'all ain't gonna move up close to Russia, you know, da-da-da-da. Then they hooked up Poland, then they hooked up everybody. And so now, what's the name done drawing the line? So Ukraine is right next to it. And they know that the U.S. has already built poison gas facilities, you know, all that. This is insanity. And they, see, you could imagine how crazy they are, because, see, they the only ones listen to their news. Everybody else got their own news services now, and they listen to it and they believe it. Them guys in international news, like from India, okay, if you get, India has good news as long as it's not about Pakistan or China, because Pakistan was part of India, okay, and China have been fighting wars. Both of them been there. India and China have been there for thousands of years. They've always been the biggest economy in the world, except for the last couple of years. They've always been there. They always been neighbors. Okay, so then the dumb United States, even today, they just come out with some more stuff. And they, see, it's like a kid that tells a lie so much, pretty soon he can't imagine why his parents is punishing him, because of the lie he's told, and that he said it so much he believes it. He actually believes the lie. He didn't forget about the reality, and his parents know he lying. Okay, boss man is just anyway. I'll get to some of that as we move along. The checks will have people that do checks will have a little thing. I not this, but I'm saying this is the check the brother wrote the other day. I had him write it, Clarence Reams, and like care of or for Masjid al-Islam. So that means the people in our flyer, it will tell the people that we have had trouble with the government accounts and all that, and any of them that knows that type of stuff will know. We'll tell them, this is what, if you put a check in there, put this. I may even put a sample check on one of the flyers. Anyway, and it's for Masjid al-Islam. Okay. Clean up, cook. Also, we'll be doing a little counteroffensive about the lies about Masjid al-Islam. Well, no, we are not dealing with every. You know what I mean? It's just a few of the main things, and so the counter lies about Masjid al-Islam. That'd be easy, you know. Uh, let me see what I have here now. Number B. Can't yet. So far. Okay. Form, that's miswritten or something.
No, yeah, you're just saying, you can't yet go so far out in front of the masses that they can't see.
That's right. That's right. Okay. You can see that, for instance, like we've been where we are for like decades. Okay. Brother Ayub could tell you we was talking about science fiction management, like we already got strategic management, and we could talk about science fiction management. Then it would be science fiction to everybody else, but it's not science fiction to us. You know, from everything from attacks to whether they put something in your head or not, whether they do this, whether they do that. Most of what we are aware of, they're doing that. Okay, people can't, a person have to be careful because they will get labeled as paranoid. And then, for instance, all the Negroes that have been around with us and we putting their name out in the street, they're going to say Imam Musa is paranoid and da-da-da-da-da. So here's what we have to do. We have to be patient and develop year in and year out this repetitive redundancy over and over again. So this is pointed to, is said, and it happens until now. This is a fact in everybody's face. Right now, it's a fact. So nobody could run up and say, Imam Musa is paranoid. I'll just go get the notebook and I'll start running. I can stay here for an hour, half an hour, 5 hours. I could just run. Oh, this is me. This is paranoid, huh? Just like Bill Clinton said. He says, just because you're paranoid don't mean they're not out to get you. You know what I mean? In other words. But anyway, so to get out, so we have to recycle ourselves into this type of redundancy. There's several things. Number one, the people are not ready yet. I mean, back then. Okay. The world is not ready back then. But everything that we said 20 and 30 and farther back years ago is now apparent to everyone. You got to remember, Zionists have just stepped overboard of everything. They killed Rachel Corrie. They did this. They bomb and kill and they maim Palestinians. They just hey man, they off the chain. And everybody see them. Okay, so now when we talk about Zionist Americanism, everybody see. Excuse me 1 second. This is Salam alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
Yes.
I'm calling, brother. I'm trying to find my father. I don't know where he is.
Okay, well, you're calling right in the middle of the class.
Oh, you in the middle of a class?
Yeah,
right
we're
now?
right in the middle of a class right now.
Okay, well, give me a call back when the class is done.
All right. Thank you very
All
much.
right.
Okay,
What's
Salam.
up?
So anyway, I thought that might be the crackpot crew, and I want to invite them to participate, and you know, what the heck. You know, when you whip people to death, you don't have to stand over them. I told you this what I was going to do. You know, you said, hey, you know, let's be on the same team. You see who your master is. You see, just to go back a minute, no matter what we've said, it's all came out just like we said it was, over and over and over again. This time it's just quicker, and it's like everything that we put in talks and lectures is happening to the United States of America all at the same time. They thought that everybody was going to believe all that dumb stuff they say on their news. And everybody is saying, look, they united the Indians. Look, now the Indians has always been kind of dealing with Russia. Okay. They united the Indians, so they have not only the Indians, they have the Chinese, right? They have the Iranians. They have most of the world. See, they got Europe pretending. But the rest of the world, they don't have. They got over half of the world is, if they got India and China and Russia, those are the biggest, that's most of the, physically. Russia is 8 time zones. China is basically the same size as the United States, just like Brazil is. They're all 3 million something, and when they brought Alaska in, that gave them a little extra boost. But China is as big as continental America and bigger than continental America. When you stick Alaska, that's a big piece of landscape up there. When you stick that on, then it goes, okay. This stuff is hilarious. It's so insanity. And then they're going to have poison gas, whatever they got, all that chemical warfare stuff inside of Ukraine. And everybody know it. And they're trying to make, like, everybody's on Russia's team. Like right now, when you watch the news, not the white folks' news here, but especially Indian news, Chinese news, and everybody is just, well, the United States is an empire in decline, but not only empire in decline, but the U.S. finds a way to accelerate its own decline. It hooked up this war with Anybody with any sense know, and Putin them been watching it from way back, that's why Russia saved all the gold. China been expecting, that's why they save all the gold. So whatever you do, they got gold. You know, they've been buying the gold on a regular basis, not to affect the price of it. In other words, if they go and just buy $18 trillion worth of gold, that's going to affect the market. But if they get on a regular buying spree where they buy, they didn't count it out. You can see they didn't have, we're going to buy so much, da-da-da-da-da. Pretty soon, they got a big gold supply. So Russia has the biggest gold supply, you know, probably in the world. So you can't do anything to them, not to mention food. Ukraine and most of Russia is like Kansas, man.